students, welcome to my channel Simply Biology. So today we are going to discuss chapter Why Do We Fall Ill? This is the term 2 course. It's going to be subjective. So let's begin with chapter 13 Why Do We Fall Ill? What is health? Health is a state of well-being so that one can perform physical, social and mental functions properly. That means if we are healthy, we are able to do all our daily tasks very well. So we have to be physically fit, socially fit and mentally fit. Is health dependent on personal and social issues? Yes, we cannot achieve a good health, okay, by solely our own things. So yes, we cannot have a good health by having poor social conditions. Every organism in this world depends on each other with mental health. There are 5 F's that we can see which are required for prevention of transmission of diseases by maintaining sanitation and hygiene. For sanitation we have S sign, for hygiene we have H sign. There is a fecal matter, so we have fluid, fingers, flies, field and flood. Fluid, protect the water source, hygiene. Treat and store the water safely, sanitation. Fingers, wash the hands before preparing and taking food, hygiene. Wash hands after defecation, sanitation. Flies, cover the food, hygiene. Control the flies, sanitation. Field, clean vegetables and fruit before eating them, before using them, it's hygiene. Avoid open defecation is sanitation. Flood, proper drainage system is hygiene. Treatment of water is sanitation. Personal health and community health both are very important and they both are very different from each other. Personal health is a state of physical and mental social well-being. Community health, it is the maintenance and protection and improvement of health of whole community. Personal health, it depends on individual health only. Whole community defines the health of community. Well, individual health depends upon balanced diet, personal hygiene, consuming balanced food, clean water, proper exercise, relaxation. But community health is defined by provision of the treatment, safe drinking water, proper sewage and waste management, providing medical facilities, health education, control of communicable diseases. Factors that determine better health. नंबर 1 पब्लिक क्लीनलीनेस. हमारे आसपास का अगर एनवायरनमेंट साफ होगा then we will be able to live properly, we have a healthy life. Good food, balanced food is very important to work function. अगर हम अच्छा खाना नहीं खा पाएंगे तो हमारी जो बॉडी है उसमें malnutrition हो जाएगा. So it's very important to have a balanced diet. For this we should also have good economic conditions so that we can buy the good food. Social environment is very important. We should have a tension-free life, a healthy life. Balanced social environment is very important for better health. What do you mean by a disease? A disease is basically disturbed ease. That means there is a disturbance in our body. A disease is not caused by any external injury. It can be also caused by external factors like germs or internal factors by dysfunctionality of or malnutrition of nutrients in the body. A disease can have some symptoms and sign. Healthy and disease free. Healthy means it's a state of physical, mental and social well-being. It means that individual physical and social environment is very important. Individual has good health. Disease free means is a state of absence of disease. It can refer only to the individual. An individual can have a good health or poor health. We can stay disease free by maintaining good health. by having a proper food, proper diet, keeping the environment clean, and personal hygiene. How can we identify a disease? A disease can be identified symptoms and signs. Symptoms can be common for many diseases. It can be headache, it can be fever, it can be swelling. So that's the symptoms. That means there is something wrong with the body. So these are symptoms which are common for many diseases. Then what are signs? Signs are for only one particular disease. We will be doing this topic in the coming slides. But before that, let's do the types of diseases. The types of diseases on the basis of duration and severity are acute and chronic. Acute disease means a disease that lasts for only short period of time and you recover very fast. This is not fatal. You will not feel much tiredness and they don't have long-term effects on your body. Example, common cold, malaria. Chronic diseases are diseases that last for long period of time. You may not recover completely, or it may take whole life to whole life. You may not recover. The diseases, they often have long-term effects on body. You may lose weight, you may feel tired. So this disease is fatal. Example is cancer and HIV. How the chronic disease affects your body? The chronic diseases, they take long period to recover. They affects the weight of the body. They affect the whole organs of the body. You feel tired throughout the time, and you will not be able to do your day-to-day activities even properly. They affect the learning activity also. That's why they are more fatal. What causes diseases? The diseases are caused by two factors, internal factors and external factors. Internal factors can be hormonal imbalance, allergic reaction, genetic disorders, malfunctioning of body organs. External factors can be unhealthy or unbalanced diet, disease-causing germs, bacteria, virus, fungi, pollution in the environment, and unhealthy lifestyles. Now let's talk about signs and symptoms. Signs are for particular diseases. They give you information that this disease is there. Example, your whole body becomes yellowish in color when you're having jaundice. जब आपको पीलिया हो जाता है हमें, तो हम पूरे पीले यानी कि हमारा जो बाइल जूस है वो एक्यूमुलेट हो जाता है हमारे पूरे बॉडी में. So it differs from person to person, but sign जो है वो clear indication देता है कि यही disease होने वाली है. So jaundice का sign है पूरी body में yellowish होना. Symptoms जो हैं वो indicate करते हैं there is something wrong with the body. जैसे कि example, it can be common for many diseases. Fever हो सकता है, वो तो सब में हो सकता है, many diseases में भी. Headache, so many diseases में भी हो सकता है, बहुत सारी. So symptoms are very common for many diseases. But there is something wrong means symptoms. Based on the following, there are two types of diseases. Causes क्या क्या हैं? Immediate cause and contributory causes. Immediate causes का मतलब है जैसे कि आपको किससे बीमारी हुई. So immediate causes are bacteria, fungi, virus and germs, pathogens से हुई. Contributory causes, they are not direct causes. They contribute. Example, poor diet, unhealthy lifestyle, polluted environment. Congenital and acquired diseases. Congenital diseases होती हैं जो हमें by birth मिलती हैं, like hole in the heart or any genetic disorder. Acquired diseases होती हैं जो कि birth के बाद होती हैं, which we acquire with the time. Diseases can be infectious and non-infectious. Infectious diseases होती हैं जैसे कि जिसमें immediate cause है pathogen, यानी कि microbes. And they are infectious from the infected person to healthy person. Non-infectious diseases वो होती हैं जो आपके normal malnutrition से होती हैं, जो हमारे imbalance of hormones से हो सकती हैं. So non-infectious में immediate cause microbes नहीं होते. So infectious में pathogen attack करते हैं body में और disease cause करते हैं through air, water, vectors, different mediums से. Cholera, tuberculosis, pneumonia, chickenpox are infectious diseases. Non-infectious diseases में pathogen जो हैं वो cause नहीं करते, आपके internal factors ज़्यादा relate करते हैं. And the examples are high blood pressure, heart diseases, cancer, diabetes. They are the example. Infectious agents are various. What are they? They are the microbes or pathogen that causes infectious diseases. Example, virus causes common cold, influenza, dengue fever, AIDS. Bacteria causes typhoid fever, cholera, tuberculosis, anthrax. Fungi, fungi causes many diseases, skin related diseases. Example, ringworm. Protozoans, they causes malaria, kala azar. Worms causes many diseases, ascaris or elephantiasis. In your NCERT book, this diagram is given. Figure 13.1 is showing you SARS virus that causes SARS diseases. Figure 13.1 B shows Staphylococci. It's a bacteria that causes acne. 13.C, you can see the structure. This is the trypanosoma, which causes sleeping sickness. It's a protozoan. These circle one are the red blood cells. 13.1D shows Leishmania. Leishmania causes Kala Azar. It's a protozoa. 13.1E, this is a ascaris. It's a worm which causes ascariasis disease in your small intestine. There is a peptic ulcer disease which were earlier considered as a chronic disease, but now it has a cure. Peptic ulcers are caused by Helicobacter pylori. You can see this is the peptic ulcer in the stomach. What are the symptoms? The acidity related pains, or you can have a loss of appetite, burning sensation in the stomach, gassing, bloating and vomiting are the symptoms. These are the ulcers you can see. So who discovered that? Marshall and Warren, they both had discovered this bacteria. These are the bacteria causing peptic ulcer, Helicobacter pylori. They also won Nobel Prize for the discovery and the cure. They are being cured by antibiotics. By taking antibiotics, we can cure them permanently. Why do we need to understand the characteristics of the infectious agent? Why? It's very easy. We can treat the diseases caused by them in a better way. Okay, because viruses, bacteria and fungi, they grow very fast, whereas worms, they grow very slowly. So we can kill them with the root cause. Some common characteristics of infectious agents are viruses, they live inside the host body. They require host cell to make their own copies. Bacteria, they do not generally live inside the host body. Virus, bacteria and fungi multiply quickly. Worms do not multiply quickly. How do penicillin can help to fight against bacteria? Antibiotics, they are discovered by Alexander Fleming. The first antibiotic is penicillin, which was discovered by Alexander Fleming. Yes. So एंटीबायोटिक्स क्या करते हैं? एंटीबायोटिक्स सेल वॉल की फॉर्मेशन को नहीं होने देते. So that's why the antibiotics blocks the cell wall formation and hence the new bacteria cells are not formed. So penicillin is an antibiotic that prevents the growth of cell wall formation. Hence the bacteria die easily. And you know that human cell, animal cells, we don't have cell wall, so we are not affected. So have you all understood how the penicillin functions? Antibiotics are not effective against viruses. Why? Because viruses, they have their own biochemical pathway. They uses the host machinery and they make their own cells. So antibiotics do not work on viruses. Viruses do not have cell wall either. So that's why it's non-functional. But when we go to the doctor during the common cold is caused by a virus. Why do we doctor prescribes us antibiotics then? Because might be there is some bacterial infection which is there also along with the common cold. Just to reduce that bacterial part, doctors prescribe some antibiotics. But the antibiotics will not affect viruses. Thank you, students, for today's session. I will make the part 2 of Why Do We Fall chapter in the next video. Till then, learn and enjoy. Share and subscribe my channel for more updates. Thank you.